Okay. So what's the topic today? Day 39. We are going to see something called as, let me share my screen. Index.html. Okay.
Yeah.
So write so so today is the first lecture of the layout, and we are going to see the flex layout.
Okay.
Flex layout. Now what I want to do, let me draw it here. So this is our HTML page. This is our page, and I have a button, right? So I want to place this button. Okay, let's do in this way. So this is the button, and I want to place this button over here, sometimes at the right hand side, sorry, left hand side. I want to place this button at right hand side. I want to place this button at bottom left. I want to place this button at bottom right, and I want to place this button at the center of the screen. You getting my point? What is the requirement?
Yeah.
I should have a facility to place this button at the different locations over here, 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 here. So can you tell me, as per the your existing knowledge, how would you do that? So let's have this main and this button, input type button, and for better understanding purpose I will write style over here. Otherwise I could have created a separate style.css. So you can see everything in front of your eyes right here.
The requirement like same button.
Yeah, same button. Can you tell me how?
You can, as per as we learn about the static positioning, so in that case, as per requirement, we can use flow.
Correct, we can use the positioning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
But if you go to the positioning, we can use no problem. But a lot of code you need to write by means of position. So my question is that how do you arrange here and here? What is the position here and here? So what you need to do, if you want to place this button from here to here, you need to give a relative position, and you need to work with the left parameter and the top parameter, right?
Correct. Correct.
Left parameter, but that is the static one. So this will not work on the mobile screen.
Right.
Correct? This will not work on the mobile screen because percentages and other thing you need to manage for everything. And that's why, or if you want to take this button over here, you need to give some static position or static value for this much gap, margin top, something like that, or top, right? Which is bad. How do you make it at the center? That is also another question. By considering all this, there is something called as, let's create a class, say dot box. Okay, let me assign the or first HTML, body, width 100 VW, height 100 VH, and then we have dot box here. Here I can say width. So this, or instead of this class, let's say main, width 100%, height 100%, right? To this main we have applied. And let's give a little background color, cornflower blue. Okay. And if you open this index.html, and can you see the button over here? We have a button over here. So we can say okay to this button. Can you see okay? Right?
Yeah.
If you want to give some width and height to the button, we can give it button width, say 100 pixels, height 80 pixels. Okay. This is the button, or 60 pixels. So by default, by the perspective of the HTML, it is by default at top left position. Now remember that this button is in the main semantic tag. Okay. Now main is the container, display, flex, display, flex. So this is the powerful feature given to you by Css3. Who have given this feature? Css3. Now what do you mean by display flex? So you will look at the meaning of display flex is that if this is your, sorry, it is a pencil, this is your flex, this is your HTML, you can arrange the elements either in a column form top to bottom or in a left to right, right? So elements can be arranged one below other in a column way, or elements can be arranged in a row format, left to right. That is nothing but what? Display flex, a unidirectional, first feature, unidirectional. It is what? Either in a form of row or in a form of column. You can arrange the elements either in the form of row or in a form of column. There is a one more layout, a two-dimensional layout, that is called as display grid. This is what? Display flex. And there is a display grid. What is a display grid? Two-dimensional. Same time you have rows, and you can arrange the elements in the form of rows and elements, but here not. So presently we are not understanding display grid. We will see that. What we are understanding? Display flex. So once you understand the layouting, your CSS part is done. You don't need to worry about the CSS part. What is there in a CSS? Background colors, background images, that's not that important. Layouting is important, positioning is important. So display flex is that boss. Okay. Now see here. Let's have 3 buttons. Refresh it. I will come back to our original problem shortly. Can you see? These buttons are getting arranged in a row. So flex direction by default is what? Row. Flex direction by default is what? Row. You don't need to write it. But if you make a column, see what will happen. One below other. Okay, let's change the label. Say 1, 2, 3. Can you see 1, 2, 3 like this? If you say row, or if you comment it out, default is row 1, 2, 3. That's what we have seen. A unidirectional, either in the form of column or in the form of row. Right? Now it comes with one more flavor. Now you have started this row from left to right, correct? Left to right. But you can start this row right to left also. And that is called as row reverse. See now. Can you see 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
Right to left. Right?
Yes.
1, 2, 3. So similarly, the way we have column, top to bottom, right? Column reverse, you can expect column reverse, bottom to top. Can you see 1, 2, 3? Hello?
Yeah.
Is it difficult?
No.
This is straight, right?
Yeah.
So how many properties we have seen? Display flex. Flex direction by default is row. By default is row. Row reverse, column reverse. Right? And the column. Okay, I'll keep it as by default row. Now, this can help you. It can help you. Now, presently we have taken it as row. So let me delete this also. So presently, what's our direction? That is the row. Now this display flex, these are your 3 buttons. This display flex allows you, or let's do one thing. This display flex if this is your button, we have 3 buttons like this. This display flex gives you facility to work with these buttons in a row. That is called as justification. What is that called as? Justification. Now see, I will write that. Justify content. It's the justify in our document. You might have used the justify, right? Text justification. See now, start. Justify content. Start. Here we can say end. If you see end, all 3 will go at the end. 1, 2, 3. It's not a row reverse. Row reverse is different, right? Row reverse is what? 1, 2, 3. Right to left.
Okay, the one will be displayed
At the 3. So here, right to left is the row reverse. It is just the placement of the content at the end.
Yes.
Justify content. Justify content at the end. That can be at the start. That can be at the start. That can be at the end. Got it or not?
Yes, yes.
Similarly,
reverse means directly reverse
ah,
all the button.
correct.
It is just
Direction.
Right.
You are changing the direction. Here you are not changing the direction. Direction is
Right.
a left to right only,
Right.
or the top to bottom only. Now here if you see column, and end means over here, right?
Mhm.
And start means over here. Okay.
Okay. And if I want to the column to the right,
Say that again.
if I want columns to the right bottom,
Here
yeah.
we'll see that. Just hold on.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Mhm.
Now what? So this is the start and end justification we have seen.
Mhm.
So there are few more things related to justify.
Mhm.
Space between, refresh it. Can you see? Space between the content is added.
Mhm.
Some space between this content and this thing.
Mhm.
Space between. Another thing, space around, even space around the element. Some space over here, some space over here, some space over here, some space over here. Correct?
Yeah.
Space evenly. Space evenly. Even space. Same space over here, that much space over here, that much space over here, that much space over here.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
Space evenly. Now, in the academics, you will find, you will see that a the axis name of the axis you have selected. This is what? Main axis. Row becomes what? Row. So display direction is what? Flex. And row direction, flex direction is row. And that is called as main axis. In some blogs, you will find this as main axis. An opposite axis to this main axis is nothing but this axis, that is column, but in blogs this is called as cross axis. What is this called as? So what is our main axis right now? Row. What is our cross axis right now? Column. So justify content. Now this is important. Justify content works along with the main axis. Main axis can be anything. Presently your flex direction is row. That's why your main axis is what? Row. So justification will happen along the row. Now here you change the main axis. Main axis is column. So justification will happen on the column. Can you see? The space is getting added over here. Right?
Yeah.
Now for understanding purpose, I'll keep row only for understanding purpose. Now what is the cross axis over here? Cross axis is column in this case.
Mhm.
Now if you want to arrange the element around the with respect to the cross axis, align items center. See here, whole content is getting moved. Justification is happening between the content, but in this case whole content is getting moved center, start, end. See here, can you see that? And answer to your question is this. This is what you are expecting, right?
Yeah. Can you show me the code?
Yes.
So,
And understand what is justify content. Justify happens along the main axis. It will create the space between the elements. But align items will work along with the cross axis. And main axis and cross axis are changing. Presently, your main axis is what? Row. Presently, your main axis is row. But that can be column also. If you set the display direction as column, if you set the display direction as column, then your main axis becomes column.
so can you just move the flex direction to column
Oh,
and give the last?
see now? Is that clear?
Yeah. So you have let's go to the code again.
Okay.
If you commented this justify content to the end, what will happen?
The element will flow at the beginning, that is at the top.
So justify content is to the horizontally, right?
That is dependent on the flex direction. Whatever flex direction you will set, justify will happen at that thing. If it is a column, flex direction is column. Justification will happen around the column. If flex direction is row, justification will happen around the row.
So I'm bit confused with the justify content started and align items.
Yeah, that's what I said. If I comment this thing, see what will happen. Natural ordering here. What align happens? Align will not create the space between the elements. Align will consider whole thing as one unit. And see, when you say end, it will take these three buttons together at the end here, right? Align will happen always at the cross axis. So presently, column is a main axis, right? What is the column?
Yeah.
Column is the main axis. Align will always happen at the cross axis. So if column is the main axis, what is the cross axis? Row. And that's why it shifted from here to here. Hello?
Yeah. So column is the main axis and you are saying align atom
Happen at the cross axis.
So it will happen to the end of the row.
End of the row, because row is the cross axis. Correct?
Okay. But if you consider this page, uh, I mean, you are shifting towards the right means you are actually moving the column, And if you are coming from top to bottom, then in that case it is a row.
Correct. So what is the, so let's comment this out. Let's go back to the basics. This is the column. Elements are getting arranged top to bottom.
Right.
And if I make comment it out, this is what? A row.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
Justification will always happen at the main axis. What is the main axis over here?
Row.
Row. So whatever justify you will do, space between, whatever, right, that will happen on the main axis. And whatever alignment you will do, that will happen at the cross axis. Can you see? Whole content have been shifted to the center. You get it or not? Center. So everything will come at the center. Now I shown you, moved the button at every corner and the center. Say that again.
You have to play with the values of this.
Yeah, you need to play with this. Now I have worked a lot with this. So whenever I need to do something, that's row and column is created in my head automatically. Right? So that thing also happen with you whenever you design a lot of layouts. Okay, so this is about this thing. Now on the first day itself, let's do this thing. So whenever the flexes are there, layout, go to the layout. If it is a grid, see this. So your layout section gives you how many rows are there, how many columns are there, how many flex boxes are there, and can you see these lines? If you select this, it says that this is the flex you have. A shaded portion is the flex. See this. This is the main, and there are shade over here, orange color shade. Let's do one thing. Let's change the background color. Yeah, can you see that? In the layout, this is the flex. Even here you see the flex. Can you see blue colored flex? And it shows you like this. And the dividers are the dividers to the content. If you go here, display flex, okay, that we can do in a grid. So this is the flex box we have, this one. So we can do few things also. Yeah, and can you see width and height is getting set automatically. So presently we have given the width and height to the button. But if you remove Okay, let's go here. And width would be automatically set. See here. Justify content space around. See this. There is one more property that we will see tomorrow. But 1, 2, 3, something like this. There are few more properties, but today we will cover only this much about the flex. What is a display flex? Flex direction, justify, and align. Just remember these things today. So setting auto width we will see on the next lecture. In the next lecture.
What we will see next lecture?
Auto width.
Auto width.
There are few more properties related to flex. But if possible, revise this thing today. Flex layout. I have pushed the code as well.
Flex is part of Css3.
3.
And I think we are not still touch the bootstrap.
Yes, this is not a bootstrap. Bootstrap is written on the top of flex.
So basically, Flex, this layout is our work.
Is what?
I mean, easily means it helps us to ease our work.
Correct.
I mean, designing the web page.
Yes.
It takes care of all the alignments.
Correct.
You don't need to specify the start position.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stop position. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Means these are inbuilt values and these are inbuilt, key values.
Correct.
Specified key, specified values.
Yes.
So using this you can arrange.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So you showed me the example of buttons. The same way we can use it for the content as well.
If you remember, whenever we have started the front-end session, I have designed HTML login page, right?
Yeah.
At that time also I have used the flex over there. At that time you asked what is a flex, and this is the answer.
So you can use it with any button, right? Means not with button.
Anything.
The text.
Anything. Anything. Yes, absolutely anything. That's the style.
Yeah.
That's the style, and style can be applied to anything.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah, I'm stopping the recording.